everyone, I'm Sanjana. I'm back with another fireside chat, and I'm here with Dave. Dave, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
All right, so let's jump right in. Tell us about your educational and professional backgrounds and the path that you took to get to where you are today.
So my educational started off as a normal elementary school, went to high school. And then after high school, I went to a trade school, Lincoln Technical Institute in Union, where I learned HVACR, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration, and blueprint reading. This got me started. I graduated from that school and I went on to get a job at Factory Service. At the time, it was called Frigidaire Factory Service, which is a major manufacturer of appliances. I went to their school at the time, which was specifically geared towards their appliances and how to read their wiring and spec sheets. And I stayed with that company for quite a number of years until they were sold. And then I went on to work for another company called Maytag. I also did the same thing there. I went to Maytag Technical School, which I became a lead tech, which I was able to start teaching the new techs joining the company. I did technical as far as professional background. I went on a regular basis, I take online courses. Back when I started, we actually went to classes. We actually went to schools and other opportunities where you actually had hands-on to the equipment and you could physically see it and take it apart and you learn the ins and outs. So things have changed a little bit with going to places. Hopefully you'll get back to that. But that's how I started out. While I was going to trade school, I got a job with a local contractor. So I was able to relate my teachings that I was getting in school to a real world equipment. So when I would learn about a refrigeration unit or how the cycle worked, then when I physically went to a location, I could actually put my tools onto that piece of machinery and get an understanding, a better understanding. Because reading a book is one thing, but when you actually apply it to the appliance or the equipment is another. Okay, and that's how I finished. That's how I'm going to say I got my professional background started. You want to move on to the next question or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really cool how you mentioned you were able to take, your findings and learnings from the classroom and actually apply it in the real world. I think that's super important, especially in this day and age. So it's great that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So my next question is, did you have any significant extracurricular experiences in high school and or college that you feel really helped you later on in your career?
So I always accredit my father. My father was an automobile mechanic, so that was my hobby growing up, working with him on cars. And then when I was finishing up high school, I met a recruiter for HVAC and then Appliance service. And talked to this gentleman for a while, and he's the one that told me, what path I would have to take to get into the field and to get, become successful. And this is what I did. I followed that path of going to the trade school, working for a contractor, and then getting a full-time job for the factory service.
That's amazing, and it's great to hear.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, what advice would you give to young people who will be embarking on their professional lives soon?
Okay, so the best advice I have is to really like what you're doing. Have a real interest in what you want to do for the rest of your life, rest of your working life. Learn from others in your field and always ask for their opinions and their advice, because it's important. It's important they have experience, they have seen these problems or issues before, and they can help you learn how to deal with it. Because a lot of times it's more than just, in my case, fixing the appliance, but you're also fixing the customer. You have to address their opinions, their needs, their wants, and what their problem is. If you're a good listener, you listen to what they're saying, whether it's a customer in somebody's house or in a business or your coworker or your boss. You have to listen, understand what they want, and then you apply your knowledge and your learning to that problem, and that's how you solve it. So always like what you're going to do. It's always good to wake up in the morning and not say, I don't want to go to work. It's good to wake up in the morning and say, I like my job. I'm going to enjoy today. And that's my best advice to give you, is to look for a job that you really like.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice. And especially now when it's really easy to just get caught up in like, a certain career path or like a desired track or something like that, it's definitely very important to stay very grounded and remember that, you should like your job as much as you like a hobby or something to do for fun. So that was a great piece of advice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for joining us. This was a great session. And I know everyone listening in will definitely gain a lot out of it as well. So thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully I can help you anymore. Just let me know. Thank you very much.